Candace Burns spoke with teachers last night. They say they want more communication. Everyone in the district is asking for answers. I want to bring Candace into this conversation. Good morning, Candace. Thank you so much for coming on KPRC 2 Plus Now.
Morning.
I know you've been on this story since you started here a few months ago. I want to start at the beginning, reminding our viewers what the NES program is all about.
Okay, so NES stands for New Education System. Superintendent Mike Miles was appointed by the state, the TEA, in June. And when he came, he introduced this plan, which is basically to overhaul, right now, he's starting with 28 schools in the district, which are historically known as underperforming schools. Not all of them. Some of them are doing well. But the thing is, out of these 28 schools, there are elementary schools and middle schools that feed into 3 high schools that have gotten the state's is concerning for the state. And so his idea is to reconstitute these 28 schools. And when I say reconstitute, that means everybody who worked there, teachers, principals, assistant principals, counselors, nurses, they had to reapply for their jobs. And they went through this process to make sure that they were NES qualified teachers. The superintendent believes that if you start with quality education, you'll be able to transform the districts. And he's starting with these 28 schools with the goal to at least transform and reconstitute 150 of HISD schools.
Candace, do we know if this has been done in any other district throughout the state of Texas?
So Superintendent Miles calls this a whole-scale reform, and no, he hasn't done this plan specifically. This is what he's told us when we've asked him about it. We know that he spent some time in Dallas. A lot of people know about the controversies with that. He used bits and pieces of this plan, but as far as the whole reconstitution of certain schools, it didn't happen this way. And then there's a lot of, at the meetings, people are like, well, it didn't work in Dallas, this program that you're introducing to us, so why are you bringing it to Houston? The superintendent has said over and over, hey, this is not the same plan. The new education system is not what I used in Dallas. It was something similar, but it wasn't this. So, and then also to that point, there are some stories of success of his plan in Dallas, but then there are also stories of not so good stories. Like, for instance, the pay structure. That's one of the things with NES. To get the best teachers at those 28 schools, the superintendent has promised to pay competitive salaries, and that is to attract the best of the best in Texas to HISD. He did that. That was one of the parts of his plan in Dallas, and it did attract good teachers, but the plan wasn't sustainable in Dallas. That they weren't able to pay teachers that much for a long period of time, and the teachers who were making money, a lot of money, more than usual, ended up leaving the district after the money dried up.
Would that be a concern here in Houston ISD?
I have heard that from union representatives. They're wondering how long HISD can sustain this and how it will impact the general fund budget.
You're talking about the largest school district in the state. We know these meetings get heated from time to time. Some of the topics you mentioned are what get brought up. They're of concern. A lot of questions are still out there. What questions have we asked that we still have yet to get answers to?
You know, Zach, every time I go to one of these meetings, and there have been quite a few, so there were the beginning meetings with the new board, and then the superintendent has decided to go into the community over the summer and meet with the families, the teachers, and the people impacted by this change. So there have been 3 or 4 of those. And every time he has those meetings, there's new information that we have more questions about. I mean, he introduced it in June, and he's planning to implement it in August. So things are moving pretty rapidly. But I can say this about the administration. Every time the meeting is over, the superintendent makes himself available to answer questions that the media might have. So if we have questions, he does his best in those moments to answer them. And he always says, hey, if I can't answer it now, let me get that information to you. So he tries to be available and to help. But there are many questions still.
Yeah. Would you say that you are seeing a transparent effort attempt to take shape?
I really wanted to. I really want to say that, but we talked to the superintendent, and then we talked to some of the teachers, and you see some of the comments that teachers make on social media about being confused about the process. Some of them, union representative told me last night that some of the teachers who signed up for NES got offers that show that they'll be making less than what they were actually making as an HISD teacher before NES was brought into the idea. And so when you see that, you're like, and then there were fine details, like going to the meetings. I was talking to my photographer yesterday, and I was asking, didn't you think that the base salary for all NES teachers, no matter if you were in elementary, middle school, or high school, would be around $80,000? And we have both been at these meetings, and he said, yeah, that's what I thought. But you got to pay very close attention to detail, because it was stated the average salary.
The average, yeah.
Base salary. So things like that, like
keywords.
You can understand why a teacher would say that's not like very transparent. I understand what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Candace Burns, thank you very much for waking up early to chat with us this morning. We appreciate it. I know there is a meeting happening tonight for the district. You will be there. Superintendent Miles will also be there to answer your questions. That starts tonight at 6.